So I hope you have received your cutout in the mail. This is our Americana Birdhouse. And I like to start, if you have a piece of cardboard or just something that you can lift and carry around, it helps when you're moving pieces over to dry. And I also like to set up some tape. This is for all the small pieces. So I like to start with everything together. A couple things I want you to make sure is that your star, the point of your star is facing up and the V is on the bottom. So you don't put this upside down. It's easy to do. So I'm going to start by dismantling this. I'm going to take this center flower and make sure the center goes before the flower it belongs on, because these are not all exactly the same. And these are going to be my flowers. The roof to the birdhouse, I'm just going to set aside. We're not going to need that right now. This portion I'm going to set aside. And then here are all my stripes. And this is how I did it to organize myself. I did a side of my cardboard that's going to be red, and a side of my cardboard that's going to be white. Okay? So this one's going to be red, this one's going to be white, this one's going to be red. These little pieces are going to be white, and I'm going to put them down here. Put the stars aside. So this broken stripe is white. This is going to be red. This is going to be red. Sorry, I almost messed myself up because this is the broken stripe is white, going to be red. This is going to be white, and this is going to be red. Okay, so I have 3 white and 4 red. My stars are going to be black, and this is my base. So the base is going to get covered except for the top half. The top half is the inside of the stars, which we want to be white. So from this portion up, I'm going to paint in Snow Owl. Or actually, we're going to use Antique Villa. How I do my colors is when I have my Antique Villa open, I try to hit everything that's going to be Antique Villa, not just the roof of my house. So I'm going to start with the roof of the house. And today I'm using these makeup sponges. These work nicely. They are a little bit different than the other dabbers that I use. Small projects I feel you can use these with. If I have a larger area to paint, I will go with the dabber with the stick on it. The thing I find with these dabbers is that they don't really absorb the paint as much, so you have a lot more paint on your dabber itself. And again, I'm just going to do this dabbing motion to cover this top portion. You're not going to see a lot of the white, so I may do a second coat, but I did pretty good my first coat. Then I'm going to go back in with my white. I'm going to load. I like to have a second piece of cardboard to unload. So my flowers are going to be white. I have one flower left. And then I'm going to go right into my stripes. And then I have these white stripes over here. And then I'm going to do a second coat on my birdhouse. I'm going to go right in with the goldenrod and fix these flowers. And I believe this is the only thing with goldenrod. Then I'm going to go in with the Republic Red. I'm grabbing a new dabber. And I'm going to do these stripes over here. You can do one at a time. I just decided to try to hit them all at the same time. I'm going to put my house aside, and then I'm going to go in with Bowie. Okay. These stars are going to be black. I'm going to put the stars on the tape. It just makes it much easier to paint them when they're on an adhesive. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is my roof line. And I'm going to be using chocolate. You know what, I'm just going to use a paintbrush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my paintbrush by spraying it. I'm going to go in with some chocolate. And I'm going to brush it on. Then I'm going to take a baby wipe and wipe it back. This moisture you want to be very quick because this MDF will start to break down with moisture. So you just want to quickly wipe it, and you can even hit it with a blow dryer. You just want to let that dry before you move forward. So now just pause your tape and go through and make sure all your pieces have a second coat, whatever they need, before we start to glue it together. So we're going to start gluing everything together. I'm going to start by gluing the top portion on. And then I'm going to start with my stripes. I'm going to start with red. A white. This is where you want to make sure that your stars are pointing the correct way. I've glued one upside down. That's why I'm bringing this to your attention. I'm going to add my stars. And do my broken stripes. This is a second option in gluing down your stripes. Leave your paint up. I'm going to lay this down and make sure I go across the black stars. And then lift it up like this. You're gonna need one down the center too. Okay? So then I'm gonna take my glue and I'm still gonna try to keep it on the board. You need a very little bit. So here we're at. Now before we move further, I'm going to take my black dabber, I'm going to run it down the edge. Okay, these are on. So now I'm going to go to my roof line. Now this is not going to even up perfectly. It's going to go past the peak, and it's going to kind of, you're going to see a little bit of a ledge going all the way around. It's not going to line up flush. So just so you know, you're going to want to put your glue a little bit more on the interior part of this. And there we are. Okay, so now I'm going to go to, or grab any flower. And we're going to put the centers on. So I'm just going to go around my petals. This is not necessary. And just kind of get that black around the edge of my petals. Okay. Now what you're going to want to do, this is optional. You're going to get a grouping of some raffia. You're going to need a little hot glue. And take one of your flowers. Then you have two more flowers. I think this came out so cute. So now at this point, you could paint the backs of all your pieces so the back is nice and neat. I didn't do that with you guys today because I just wanted to get through this, but that is something you can do. And then the stand. So the stand is going to be in your kit. You're going to glue it to the back with the opening down, and then you're going to put this in the center. So I'm going to flip this over. I want a clean side. So I'm going to glue it with the opening down. Always check your piece. And I actually dropped the glue right in that groove. This is what we like to use. I like to go up and down and then side to side. And then you're done. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you next month. Thank you so much.